Hello everyone, I decided to make a quick video on saving and loading. Very similar stuff to what I will create in this video is already in the in-class programs. If you open it, this is the newest programs that I did with one of my sections, which I made for one of my sections, and this is the files that were saved. And the older things that we did with Pickle are, I think, in chapter 9. You can find them there, like Picklin. Okay, so how are we going to save and load? Now, one of the common scenarios of your project is that you have some sort of main and you have a variety of variables in your project. X equals to let's ask the user what it is, int input, and say enter an integer, just for to have user be able to put in something differently. Another thing, let's say y will be true and z will be empty dictionary. So whatever your variables are, I want a way to save them and load them together. First of all, in my folder in chapter 9, if you open Picklin, there are already we made the functions for loading and saving, and there is a version of them in the book, so I just grab them and copy paste for now. And then I'm figuring out how to use them. So here are my functions. They work. We created this program and then we tested that it works, so they work. Alright, so I want to pickle an object, so I'm calling save, but what do I call it on? Maybe x, y, and z, and doing that all that often is really not that great of an experience. So I'm creating list to save and put my variables on this list x, y, and z. Alright, and then what I'm saving is just list to save, and that's that. So that is taken care of saving. I did prepare a folder on my desktop with the corresponding file. So this file, saving and loading, is in the folder already. Let me check my desktop. Here is save and loading. So far there is one file. So how about we make it save? List to save, and then we will need to load. So this will save something. I'm calling main, enter an integer 100. Pickle not defined, that is because I need to import pickle. Alright, let's rerun. Main. Alright, so now there is another file created, pickled object dot, and it contains all the data that the entire list of variables that I have created. Alright, so now we want to load. List to load equals to the whatever this function returns. So this function returns and opens this file. This is creating a file object, and pickle load actually loads from this file object, which is file object has API to actually read from the file, and that's what .load on object f is doing. So list to load will be load, and for now I'll just print list to load. let's run, and actually I'll call the main from here so that I don't have to do it from the console. Okay, enter integer. Let's enter 1, 2, 3. So we saved and loaded a list of variables, but we did not want a list of variables because we cannot just work with this list. We were working with X, Y, and Z separately. So you need to actually load these values. And think how you can do it, but basically you say X equals to list to load with index 0, because this is the order in which we were adding to the dictionary, so we are reproducing that. Y equal, sorry, not lost, list. And very similarly, enter an integer. So now I can also print XYZ, and this will print whatever the values were assigned to them, which happen to be the same. So, alright, now let us change something about this to make it a little bit more meaningful. So my functions save and load, they should ask for a file name that we want to load and save in this case. So file name equals to input, enter the file name to save to. And in the second scenario, in the second function, we will load from. And now it will ask us for file names, and we will have to be careful there to enter the names exactly right. So 100 to save 100, and enter. If I enter a random file, that would be an error, and you would have to you do need to handle that for your project. Alright, so let's try run again. So enter an integer 1, 2, 3, and I'm saving it to 1, 2, 3. Save. And now I'm loading from previous one, save 100. Save 100. So I loaded indeed not the last thing that I saved, but the thing that I wanted to load. And I guess that's it for the video. Hope it helps you in case you are not using a dictionary and saving and like keeping a bunch of variables here, and you want to save and load that bunch of variables.